All right. So happy Monday, everybody. Um, let's see, we're gonna go ahead and get started. Anybody do anything like really interesting this weekend or super productive? Any showings? Anything like that? No? I know we had a lot of things going on from a community perspective this weekend. We had a lot of protests. I know that Adriana had a listing in, I think it's Southgate or Pico, one of them. And she decided not to do the open house because they were scheduling a big protest right in her area. And of course, didn't want to have, people coming in um, and just the traffic and everything like that being an issue. So she postponed that open house. So I know that that might have thrown a wrench in some plans. And then, of course, it was Father's Day. So, all of you guys who have fathers and husbands and all that good brothers and all that good stuff, I hope you're able to celebrate with them. Um, so, all right, let's go ahead and move into our weekly industry update. Those of you who can, thank you, Danila. Those of you who can, turn on your cameras. All righty. So to be TCPA compliant, what that means is you do not call people that are on the do not call list. That is the primary factor with that is if they're on the do not call list, we are not to call them. Respect their privacy because their fines are hefty. Okay. All right. Now let's go to Los Angeles County, our sales trends.
Oh, Brandy, we lost your voice. Or I did. Everybody here?
Can you guys hear
It's just me.
I need someone to chime in. Kathy, Yvette.
I can hear you back.
I can hear.
Latasha, you can hear me?
I could hear.
Okay. All right. Thank you guys. David. Okay. Gotcha. Thank you. I think
can hear you.
Thank you guys. I think Danila probably had a bad connection. So okay. So LA County sales trends, you guys, remember what we're looking at here is we're looking at current month to date as compared to last month to date, right? So we're looking at June 1st through the 15th as compared with May 1st through the 15th. That's this column right here. Okay. This column right here, I'm comparing June 1st through June 15th this year to last year's June 1st, June 15th. Okay. Now this column, and I focus more on this column and this last column because this is current year to date. So this is looking at January to June of last year and January to June of this year. Okay. So because I know I've got some new faces on. And so I want you guys to just know how this is set up so that you guys can follow along. Okay. So looking at for sale properties, and for sale properties means properties that are currently on the market, right? And that it has risen 5% over last month. Okay, so over these last 15 days of the month, as compared to last May, it's up 5.1%. Now, year to date, it's up 36.5%. So yes, we have had some huge jumps in inventory coming on the market to the tune of 36.5% as compared to last year, this same time last year. Okay, which we absolutely need, right? Because we've been in an inventory shortage for quite some time. And so now we are seeing at least a little bit of relief with inventory coming on the market. Sold has gone down 9.7% as compared to last month. However, it's down only 0.6% as compared to last year. And that means closings. Okay. So closings, that's what it means. So we've had, as compared to last year, we've had 0.6% less closings than we did last year. Okay. And then pendants are down 9.3% over last month, or as compared to last month. And then we're down 0.6%, just the same as sold. We're down 0.6% less than we did as compared to last year. So again, pendants in escrow, right? So we have 0.6% less escrows than we did last year. Okay. Now, new listing inventory is down 20.6% as compared to last month so far. However, it's up 15.6% as compared to last year. New listings means inventory that was not available last year currently being available now, right? A brand new list, okay? It's up 15.6% as compared to last year. Average active price is actually down 1.9% as compared to last month. However, it's down 10.3% as compared to last year. So sellers are asking, on average in LA County, 10.3% less than they did last year. Okay. However, their receiving average sold price is only 2% less than it was last month. And look at this, 7.3% higher than it was last year. Okay. So sellers in LA County are doing very well. They're getting 7.3% higher prices or higher value on their properties than they did last year. Okay. So that's excellent. And it's not, it is higher than average, right? Average is normally between like 4 to 7%. Okay. So it's just slightly a little bit above, but it is still not in the double digits, right? So it's still not, I'm going to use the word egregious because it's just not like, it's not as bad as it could be. And as inventory is coming on the market and we're getting more inventory coming on the market, it could potentially be going down. So months of inventory, our absorption rate. So we have a 20.8% increase over last month. Last month, we were at 3.4 months of inventory. Currently, we're at 4.1 months of inventory. So right now in June in LA County, we are bumping that normal market. I want to check out the chat real quick. Okay, good morning. Thank you, David. All right. And then anybody else say anything? Okay, perfect. All right. Thanks, David. And then let's see. For some reason, I lost my.
And Brandy, that normal market is when it gets to the 6. Is that the normal or between 4 and 6?
So a normal market is actually between 4 to 6 months.
Okay, cool.
Yep, 4 to 6 months is a normal market. So right here, as we can look at in LA County, we're up 37.1%. We were at 2.9 months of inventory last year at this time in June. We're at 4 months of inventory currently. So we're right at that threshold. We're right at that entry level where we're entering into a normal market. Okay. And what does that mean? That means that for the most part, buyers and sellers or inventory and demand, supply and demand has equaled out. We have enough inventory to meet demand. Okay. I think that this is, remember, 4 months is the beginning, right? So how's it going to look right now? It does look like the beginnings because you're going to hear stories of people who are still in multiple offer situations, right? Depending on the area. Okay. And then you're also going to hear people who are like, man, my listing is sitting and it's not selling, it's not moving, right? So it just really depends on the area, depends on the property. And the price point, because some properties, these sellers are still like reaching for the sky, wanting to get this big price because last year their neighbor sold and they went over 50,000 in asking price or whatever the case may be, right? Or 2 years ago. And now their property, they want to get that, they want to get higher, but that could possibly not be the case anymore because the market is changing. Right. So we have to be able to educate them and really show them the data that shows them that, this is what's happening in the market and you got to price accordingly. Otherwise, you're going to be sitting. All right. Average days on market is up 6.3%. Last month, we were at 32 days on market. Currently, we're at 34 days on market. And then We are up 19.4% overall because last year we were at 31 days on market and currently we're at 37 days on market. Okay. So definitely days on market gets longer when you have more inventory coming on the market. Okay. Sold versus original list price is down 6.1%. Last year we were at 98% of list price. Currently in the month, we're at 92% of list price. I'm sorry, last month, if I didn't say that right. We were at 98% of list price currently in the month. In June, we're at 92% of list price. Okay. Although it's only a 1% decrease. So last year we were at 98% of list price. Currently, we're at 97% of list price, right? So sold versus original list price. So sellers are still asking for more than they're actually at the end of the day receiving. Okay. And again, we got to keep in mind, you guys, we help our sellers to achieve that goal of getting 100% of their list price by how we educate them and how we strategize that listing price. Okay. If we're using the strategy of, oh, list high and we'll give ourselves room to go down, right? Then yeah, you're going to see that at the original list price being less than the sales price all day long, right? But if we do the opposite, which is price conservatively so that you can get multiple offers and bid it up, we would see a different numbers here. Okay. All right, let's look at Orange County. Orange County for sale is up 4.8% as compared to last month and up 53% as compared to last year. Okay. So that's huge. Orange County has huge inventory increases this year. But don't let that fool you. You guys will still see we're still in the seller's market in Orange County because Orange County was literally like having 1 month of inventory last year. So even at 53% increase, we still need more inventory in Orange County. Sold price is solds are down 13.9% as compared to last month and down 4.1% as compared to last year. So we still have 4.1% less closings than we did last year in Orange County. As compared to LA County, it's only like 0.7% less, right? Pendants are down 11.7% as compared to last month and down 3.2% as compared to last year. New listings are down 28.9% as compared to last month. However, they are holding strong at 11.6% increase over last year. So we do have more new listing inventory that has come on the market to the tune of 11.6% over last year. Average active price is down 1.8% over last month and down 12.5% over last year. So clearly Orange County sellers are getting the clue that we're not going to be asking for, way more than we did last year. Matter of fact, on average, they're asking 12.5% less than they did last year. However, as you can see, they're receiving 5.2% more than they did last year. Even more conservative number than LA County. LA County was like 7.3% more. And here, Orange County sellers are receiving 5.2% more, which is great, right? Because that's in that normal range of appreciation. Okay.
And Brandy, how much inventory do they have in Orange County?
Right here, 2.9 months of inventory.
Got it.
So there's a 24.1% higher months of inventory than it was last year. Last month we are at 2.5, currently at 3.1. And then here it's a 60% gain over last year. Last year, as you can see, at this time of the year, we were at 1.8 months of inventory. Currently, we're at 2.9 months of inventory. So you can see why I said we're still in a seller's market in Orange County at 2.9 months of inventory, right? We've got a ways to go. Average days on market is 7.7% higher than it was last month. Last month, we were at 26 days on market. We're currently at 28 days on market. And then a 29.2% increase overall. So last year, we were at 24 days inventory. 24 days on the market. And currently, we're at 31 days on the market. Okay. Now, again, I tell you guys this all the time. Keep in mind, don't let this fool you and think, oh, I've got 30 days for my client to get out there and find a property. You do not. Okay. In Orange County and in any county, the hot properties go fast no matter what. Okay. But even the ones that aren't so hot, I promise you, it never fails. I ask any agent who's been in this business for any given time. You'll have a property that's been sitting there for 20 days, 25 days, no offers. But the moment your buyer sees it and loves it, all of a sudden the listing agent has 2 other offers. Okay, it never fails. Never fails. So keep it in mind, have a sense of urgency, get out there, show your buyers the property as soon as possible. Okay. Sold versus original list price is down 2% over last month. So last month we were at 98% of list price. Currently, sellers are receiving 96% of list price in the OC. And then overall, it's a 2% decline. So last year they were receiving 99% of list price. Currently, they're receiving 97% of list price. Okay, so still high, still in the upper 90s. So that's a good sign for sellers. And again, we can help them achieve that goal of getting 100% of their list price by the pricing strategy we use, right? All right, we're moving along, you guys. Riverside County. So Riverside County is down on for sale properties 1.3% as compared to last month. And we've increased 36.7% over last year. So again, keep in mind, all counties have gone up in terms of inventory. So we definitely have more inventory than we did last year. Okay. The question is, why are sales still lagging, right? Because as you can see, sold properties has gone down 19.1% as compared to last month and 3.3% as compared to last year. So LA County has gone down 0.7%. Orange County has gone down, I think it was 4% or so. And now Riverside County is down 3.3%. Okay. So every county is moving in the wrong direction, quite frankly. Okay. Going down versus up in terms of solds. Or closings. So we will have to continue to monitor that. Now we are in the summer months, which you guys know, spring and summer are our hottest times for business, right? So the goal is that we would rebound, is that now you would see more closings because now the kids are out of school. My son just graduated last week. Thank you. I'm so excited for him in his new journey. And that's the key in LA County. Now, I will tell you, Riverside County, those kids graduated like weeks ago because they start school earlier than we do. But I said all that to say that kids are out of school. Parents now normally make their move in the summer. Okay. A lot of folks make their move in the summer. So hopefully we will see these numbers rebound. Pendants are up 1.5% as compared to last month. And no change over last year. So this is exact same as we had the same amount of escrows at this time last year as we do this year. Okay. New listing inventory has gone down 31% as compared to last month and up 7.7% as compared to last year. So we do have more new listing inventory still coming on the market in Riverside County to the tune of 7.7%. Average active price has gone down 4.8% over last month and down 5.3% as compared to last year. Okay. In Riverside County. Average sold price has gone up 1.1% as compared to last month and up 1.7% over last year. So very small amount of growth in terms of appreciation in Riverside County, on average, 1.7%. Now, I'm going to tell you guys, and I tell you this all the time, you got to be hyper local, right? If you've got a listing in Riverside County, you don't want to make the claim to your seller, oh, it's only 1.7% appreciation in your area, because that could not be true, right? You've got to look at their pocket, their specific area, and find out what those numbers say so that you can give very accurate information, okay? Because this is countywide, right? And you need to be city, neighborhood specific. Hope that makes sense. All right, months of
It does.
inventory has gone up 25.2% as compared to last month. We were at 3.6 months of inventory last month. We're at 4.5 months of inventory currently. And then it's gone up 43.6% as compared to last year. So last year we were at 2.7 months of inventory, and currently we're at 3.9 months of inventory. So as you can see in Riverside County, we are definitely bumping that, definitely bumping up to our normal market, and we're knocking the door of the normal market. Okay. Average days on market is down 4% over last month. Last month, we were at 50 days on market. Currently, we're at 48 days on market. However, the flip side is true. As compared to last year, we're 18.6%. So last year, we were at 43 days on market. Currently, we are at 51 days on market. Okay. Sold versus original list price has seen a 1% increase over last month. Last month, we were at 96% of list price, currently 97% of list price. And then again, the flip side is true. Last year, we were at 97% of list price, currently at 96% of list price. Okay. Last county of the day is San Bernardino County. So in San Bernardino County, for sale properties has increased 6.3% over last year. I'm sorry, over last month, and 36.3% over last year. Okay. So in all cases, you guys, what we're seeing over 30% increase in for sale properties. So we've got more inventory, 30% to almost 40% more inventory in all of our counties. Okay. Sold properties are down 4.1% as compared to last month, and down 3.6% over last year. Okay. So closings have slowed down in every single county. Okay. So if you're feeling that, like, man, I don't have as much business as I did last year. Nobody does, except for those who are out there pounding the pavement, doing a bunch of open houses, doing a bunch of cold calling, because they're really having to work harder for the business, right? And that's because we just have less business, right? Less closings, 3.6% less closings here in San Bernardino County. Pendants are down 5.4% as compared to last month, and 0.8% decrease over last year. Okay. New listing inventory is down 21.9% over last month. However, it is up 11.1% as compared to last year. Okay, so again, a lot more inventory overall coming in on the market. So that's a really great sign. And it's a sign that we are moving towards that normal market. And what is on the other side of a normal market?
Buyer's market.
Thank you. A buyer's market. It's seller, normal, buyer, right? So that's the way it goes. And the pendulum just keeps swinging. You go from a seller's market into your normal market, into a buyer's market. From a buyer's market, you're going to swing back into the normal market, and then you're going to go into a seller's market, and the pendulum just keeps swinging. Okay. And the reality is that if you guys have followed the market, most of you, a lot of you guys are new, but we've been in this seller's market now, I believe, for a decade. Okay. It's been a long time. Been a long time. Okay. So it's time for us to be swinging the other direction. It really is. But with the pandemic and everything, that really took the market and really jarred it. Okay. Because of the pandemic. Because then you had those low interest rates and everything happening with the market. So that's what really got the market out of whack. Okay. But this is a normal projection that we go from the seller into the buyer's market. So we're just really now getting back on track, because it has been a long time. And you guys, this is the time when those relationships and where communication is going to become so key, because when you've got a listing, when listings are flying off the market, there's nothing to communicate. Mr. and Mrs. Seller, we had our open house. We got 5 offers. Hey, we're about to go into escrow, right? We got you 20,000 over asking. What's there to communicate? It's all good news. It's all happy high notes, right? But when properties start to sit on the market, and when you have to have price reduction conversations and things like that, that's when communication, that's when showing them the data, that's when staying in touch with them constantly, giving them feedback from every single showing becomes paramount. I promise you, the more you do that, you're going to keep your clients and you're going to be a stellar realtor. Okay. But those other folks who don't know how to communicate, and because they're not used to doing that, it's going to be hectic because you're going to lose those listings. They're just going to let them expire. When they expire, somebody else is going to come in and get it. Okay. So we really have to be master communicators. Average active price has gone up here in San Bernardino County, 0.3% over last month, and down 2.5% over last year. Okay. And then average sold price has gone up to 2.4% over last month and 5.3% as compared to last year. So although sellers are asking 2.5% less, they're receiving 5.3% more in San Bernardino County. Okay. Then months of inventory has improved 13.4% over last month. We were at 4.5 months of inventory last month. We're at 5.1 months of inventory currently in San Bernardino County, and a 43.6% increase over last year. Last year, we had 3.4 months of inventory, and currently we are at 4.9 months of inventory. So in San Bernardino County, you are going to see more of a normal market than in any other county. Okay. However, I'm going to impress upon you again to be hyper local, because in your specific area that you're selling, it could still be a seller's market, because that area could be very in demand, right? And so properties could still be flying off the shelves. So got to pay attention. Average days on market is down 12.2% as compared to last month. Last month, we were at 49 days on market. Currently, we're at 43 days on market, and an increase of 20.5%. Last year, we were at 39 days on market, and currently the average days on market is 47. Okay. Sold versus original list price is no change over last month. 98 sellers are receiving 98% of their list price, and then no change over last year. Last year, sellers were receiving 98% of their list price. Currently, sellers are receiving 98% of their list price. And I would say in San Bernardino County, as sometimes you see in Riverside County as well, sellers have always been more realistic about their list price, their sales price. And I think that's because they're farther out and they realize that it takes longer when you're farther out to sell the property, not like being in LA. So they've always been a little bit more realistic about their sales price, days on market, all of that. And then you see this, like their sold versus original list price hasn't even changed, right? All right. Upcoming events. So that's it for our predictions for the day, or I'm sorry, for our sales trends for the day, because that's not predictions, that's just data, right? So that's it for that. Let's look at our upcoming events. So our upcoming events this week. Today we have group coaching at 12 o'clock with Diana Carbajal. And then later in the evening, we have 5:30, we have our tech workshop with Eileen. Both of those are in-house. And I think group coaching is in-house and on Zoom, but we prefer you be in-house. Tomorrow we have 9 a.m. We have Conversations in Real Play with Diana. I heard last week was really good. A lot of folks are on, so that's awesome. And then also tomorrow, you guys, we have at 2 o'clock our team meeting with with a special guest. She's not our very own. I feel like she is, but Sophia Chacon is coming. Just so you guys know, Sophia Chacon is the operating principal for the lakes. It's out there in Lake Elsinore, and she is the top producer. So not only is she the owner of the franchise, but she actually does business, and she's the top producer out there. Sophia's story is just one to be respected. She's just a highly respected woman. And I love her energy. I love her story. She is she just is a powerhouse. So we're so lucky to have her come and speak to us really about this challenging market and how to thrive in this challenging market. Okay. Because she's crushing it. And she's got, I don't know, she runs like 4 different businesses. Okay. So when you talk about being busy, she's busy and yet she's crushing it. All right. So we're going to hear from her tomorrow. She's our keynote speaker at our team meeting tomorrow. And then we've got broker hour with Ed, of course, on 10 a.m. Oh, I'm sorry, you guys. He will not be. We won't have broker hour tomorrow because he's going to be in Huntington Beach. So if anybody wants to go to Huntington Beach to hear him live, you are welcome to do that. We've got 11 a.m. though tomorrow. We have a lunch and learn. It's called Disc to Dollars with Kevin Kelly, who is actually one of the owners in KW Huntington Beach. If you have never heard of the DISC, it is the personality assessment. And really what it does is it teaches you that there are different personalities for everybody. And it teaches you how to recognize them so that you can become more effective in your communication. Right? So if you can recognize which personality profile a person is, you know how to best communicate with them. That's the goal.
Now,
and
Brandy,
so he's going to be teaching us and breaking that down. That's on Wednesday at 11. And I want you guys all to you got to take the personality assessment yourself. Okay. Martha has her tech workshop on Wednesday. For those of you who did not attend the Miracle Morning, we had a fabulous time going over the book, and we made some commitments. We all started our 30-day challenge to wake up and do a miracle morning routine. It doesn't have to look like this exact miracle morning routine, although most of our successful agents have this type of miracle morning, and it's called the Savers. So quickly, it is you wake up with silence. And what does that look like? Prayer, meditation, but it's silence. Okay. And then affirmations, and then visualization, and then exercise, and scribing, which is journaling. Okay. So we have a 30-day challenge going on. If you want to join our 30-day challenge, let me know, because we are doing this together and we're holding each other accountable. Okay. And we are committed to seeing some great results in these 30 days. All right. So that was a great session. And we have accountability meetings on Friday. We're checking in. Okay. All right. Oh, and then Eileen tonight is going to be talking about opportunities part 2. Okay. How to use that. This is Disc to Dollars. So for those of you, make sure you RSVP because it is a lunch and learn. This is the RSVP QR code. And this QR code is for you to take the DISC assessment through the Tony Robbins website. I know a lot of QR codes, but I'm trying to make it simple for everybody. And these will be available. Our front desk is going to be sending them out, but and putting them on our flyers in house. But make sure, because you have to print. I want you guys to take your DISC assessment and then print it out before the meeting and have it with you. And then you guys, Juneteenth on June 19th. Not only is it it's already one of my favorite days because that's my mama's birthday. So, and now it's a holiday, so I get to go hang out with my mama on June 19th. So I will be doing just that, but it is Juneteenth. And it's called Freedom Day, Emancipation Day. But it commemorates the American holiday the arrival of the federal troops in Galveston, Texas, because if you guys do know, Black folks, although we were free, didn't know it, and people weren't adhering to it. Governments weren't adhering to it at all. So what ended up happening is that basically they sent troops into Texas to take control, so that the enslaved people could be free because they weren't being freed by their masters. So Juneteenth is called the Freedom Day. So we are off on Thursday. So you guys know the office will be closed. I do not believe the building is closed. So if you guys still want to come in, you're welcome to come in. You guys know you get in through the red door. The office is still open, but you just won't have a receptionist, and our front door will be locked. Okay. For those of you competing in the weight loss competition, it's still going on until June 30th. All right. And then I just wanted to let you guys see this. It's called Wealthy and Well Known. Rory and his wife, AJ Vaden. If you guys know of Rory Vaden, very well known author. And he's a coach that helps you with becoming like the popular person in your database. Okay. So he coaches some top personalities and teaching them how to become well known. And so he wrote this book, and guess what? As Keller Williams agents, we get a free preview of it. We get the digital version. So for those of you who want to take advantage of that, and it's only us as Keller Williams agents. So we are very, very lucky to have that. So take your snapshot, and you guys can download the digital version of the book. Latasha, you had a question, please.
Yeah, we don't see your screen. I don't know if you were putting the QR codes and books, but I only see you. I don't see the QR code.
Oh, you probably got to scroll to like the left. It's like three little things. So scroll over and you should see it.
Yeah, scroll to the right or to the left.
I could see it on mine. Sorry.
Let me see.
Latasha, are you on your phone?
No, I'm on a laptop, but I just,
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure, well, everybody else can see it. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I see it on mine as well.
Let me see. I'm going to stop share real quick, and then I'm going to share again just to make sure. Everybody see it?
I do now. I don't know what was going on, but I only seen, I
I
see
do.
basketball now.
Okay. Well, there you go. We fixed it. All right. So that's that. Let's go. Okay. Content. You guys know Content Day with DAOR. If you're a member of DAOR, every third Thursday, they are participating in this. All it is you can actually go film at the different new listings that are open on the list. Okay. So brokers or agents who have a listing that they want to showcase, but the difference is not only can you go look at it, you can video, take pictures, and post it on your social media. That's why it's called Content Day. It's giving you content. 4 Pillars. It's a lunch and learn on June 27th at 12:30. And that is sponsored by Gloria Navarro with Old Republic. Okay. So basically clarify your major purpose, create a blueprint for success, program your mind for victory, philosophy of fulfillment. She gets coached by this individual, so she wanted to bring him to us. Okay. And then Canva is actually coming where we're having we have a Canva partnership now with KW. So we're going to have, instead of having all of our marketing and everything in Command, you are going to have that, but you're also going to have Canva. Most of us love Canva. Is plug and play. It's easy. I know I do. And so this I'm excited about this because we're gonna have a lot of designs and a lot of flexibility in there for us to be able to use Canva with Keller Williams.
When will that be available, or is it available
It's not available just yet, Yvette. We're thinking, honestly, they're thinking in a month.
in a month? Okay, so
Yeah,
that's
in a month.
excited.
But if it comes sooner, I got you, girl.
Thank
You
you.
guys will be the first to know.
Awesome.
Yes, I love Canva too, Marina.
Excited.
Absolutely. The Ignite classes, you guys, the West Coast, it happens, I think on Tuesdays at 6:30. If you guys want to take that, please, by all means, click on the QR code there. It just rinse and repeat. It keeps going. It's ongoing. Okay. Latasha, did you have another question, my dear, or did you just not lower your hand?
Oh no, I didn't lower it. Let me lower it. Sorry.
Okay. I just want to make sure I got you. All right. And then I told to talk to you guys about our team meeting. We already talked about that tomorrow with our guest speaker, Sophia. I keep thinking we've got something. Oh, and tomorrow, I'm sorry, I forgot to mention, tomorrow at our team meeting, we also have a new development here in Downey that is going to be coming to showcase the new development. Okay. So tomorrow is going to be jam-packed. You guys get here early. Don't get here at 2, get here at 1:50. It's going to be a good session. And we're going to have one of the new developers or the developers coming here, and they're going to be talking about the new development that they're releasing, price points, amenities, the whole nine. You guys, it's going to be awesome. So be here so that you guys, because that's content too, right? That's content for us. So be here. Millionaire Real Estate Agents, you guys know I love my podcast. And I love me some Mel Robbins. So Mel Robbins is on there. Control Less, Achieve More. A conversation with Mel Robbins and Gary Keller. They're going back and forth. So this one is a good one to listen to. It dropped today. All right. So definitely listen in. And then the One Thing podcast, how to make yourself recession proof. Again, this is the One Thing podcast is really talking about keeping life simple. There's some simple things to do, and not overcomplicating things. That's why it's called the One Thing podcast, based on the book The One Thing. Okay, so this one is how to make yourself recession proof. Okay, so a surprisingly simple insights to achieve extraordinary results. Right, keep it simple, stupid. That's me. Kiss. And then there's a book that's out on AI. This woman, Julie Holmes, she's going to be at the CEO Summit. But for those of us who aren't going to the CEO Summit, like myself, this is her book, 101 Plus AI, Tips, Tools, and Prompts for Sales Pros. And it's supposed to save us some time, right? I know I'm throwing a lot at you guys, but remember, this presentation is posted on the Hub. So you guys can go back and pull the slides and see, what you need to see, or what you wanted to know more. Maybe you didn't get it down. You can go back. All right. So last but not least, a couple of things on industry news. So startup aims to bring assumable mortgages to the masses. So this is pretty cool. I thought this was a great article. There's a company, I believe it's called Retro Rate. And they've launched in 10 states. California is one of them. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to make assumable loans more accessible and more common, so that a buyer can assume a loan from a seller. So you know how sellers have 3.2% interest in their loan. Well, how about the buyer being able to assume that loan and paying the seller the rest through another loan, right? So I think that's actually pretty cool. They said that the MLS data suggests that between 20 and 25% of the homes on the market have assumable loans. We just may not be taking advantage of it, but they're there. And then their goal is to make assumable loans just another financing type, just like a 30-year fixed, right? So I love the idea. We will see how much traction it gets and how much it is actually going to be able to be taken advantage of. But I love the idea because that addresses some of the issues with our buyers and affordability, right? If they're able to get maybe even half of their loan amount to be on that lower interest rate, and maybe the other half has to be at the higher interest rate. I mean, they are getting some relief from that. So, so I do like the idea, and we'll see how this, how this lays out. And then housing advocates send urgent message to lawmakers. So basically, the the National Association of Builders is currently in on Capitol Hill at the White House. And they're talking about the affordability issues. They're talking about a tax incentive for homeowners. They're talking about a tax incentive or actually not a tax incentive, but they're looking for money or a grant for education for home builders because they need more builders. They said that there's a shortage in the workforce, and so they're looking for some type of grant so that more people will be incentivized to go to school to be able to become builders, right? To construction workers, basically. So they've got a lot of things that are on the docket. And then they also are talking about that the Democratic Party is asking for more information on the plan to privatize Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. Okay. Although nothing has been done, they've been talking about it. But the Democratic Party is asking that things be laid out and spelled out before any action is taken. So that's what's being brought to the lawmakers right now. Okay. And then home equity dips 4K as prices slow, costs climb. So basically what they're talking about, and I heard this, you guys, I talked to a gentleman in Florida last week, and he was just sharing with me how now they've been ravished, right, by the hurricanes. And so they have more than just the market that's working against them. But he was saying that in a neighborhood that was previously going at 890, it's currently going at like 480. So they're seeing between 40 and 50% dips in appreciation in his area. And that's just huge. And I told him, I mean, here in our area, that's not, we're still seeing appreciation on the increase, not on the decrease. It's now at a slower pace, right? But it's still not going backward in most areas. Okay. In his area, it's going backward. So at any rate, what this is saying though, is that in some areas, there is a slowdown in the housing market, obviously, and it's starting to impact equity, right? It's starting to dip into the equity. Okay. So that's where you guys being extremely hyper focused on your area is so important, because we are the ones that need to bring the news to our clients, not them looking at CNBC and all of that stuff, because they're just there to generate fear, and they're just there to have a storyline, stickiness. They're not there to really report true news, right? And not only that, they're looking at the global perspective, whereas we can look at the local perspective. Okay, the local market. Any questions about this?
No.
Well, we do have the Millionaire Real Estate Agent in Spanish. For those of you who would like a copy, here's the QR code. We are going to bring a couple in-house so that we can have them. I think it's a great thing that they're doing that. All right. That is it for the day, guys. We are done. We made it.
Thank you so much for all the information.
Thank
Oh,
you,
you're so
Brandy.
welcome. You guys are so welcome. My pleasure. You guys, you're welcome,
Brandy.
David. You guys have a great day. Hey, you guys, welcome David. He is our newest agent here with us.
Hi,
Welcome.
David.
David.
Hi, David. I met him. the other day.
Hello.
Good, good. I love it. David, you're gonna love it here. We're a rowdy bunch, but we love each other. So,
Great.
all right, guys, take care. Have a good day.
Thank
See
you,
you later.
Brandy.
Bye.
Have a good one.
Bye bye.
Bye.